Today, I'll show how easy it is to apply Avalon King Armor Shield ceramic coating to your vehicle. And I am by no means a professional detailer. First, I'm washing the car with some dish soap, and this will help remove any remaining wax that is still on the paint. All substances have to be removed from the clear coat before applying the ceramic coating. And this is 25-year-old paint, but you can see there's all kinds of crud on here. Dirt, stains, cat prints, watermarks, even some spider webs. Let's get this thing washed. If you're new to the channel, I'm Brian, and I maintain and modify it all here in my residential garage. I do engine work, transmission and drivetrain, brakes and suspension. I refurbish wheels. I wrench on imports, domestics, cars, trucks. I do body work, paint work. And I love buying neglected vehicles for cheap and bringing them back to life. After fixing the damaged clear coat on the $350 Acura Legend, a lot of viewers commented that I should have applied a ceramic coating instead of waxing after the paint had cured. But not being a professional detailer, I've always been intimidated at the thought of applying it wrong and doing more damage than good. I've read some DIY horror stories when it comes to ceramic coatings, but I'm finally going to give it a try. So let's take a look at the packaging and product itself. Really nice job on the packaging, Avalon King. And inside the inner box, we have a card here with a quick note from the company, Danny and Dave, the founders. There's a plastic card here, which we'll talk about in a second. And here is the ceramic coating itself. This is a 30 milliliter bottle, and pull out the foam insert, and we have one of the softest, most plush microfiber cloths I think I've ever felt, a set of black rubber gloves for applying the product, and a sponge here. It's soft on one side, it's more rigid over here, and what you actually use this for is you wrap this cloth around it and you use the card to insert it into the sides, and then you'll apply the ceramic coating on this to apply it to your vehicle surface. And a set of full instructions and a sticker. Let's get started. The first step is pre-preparation. I could go the simple route, but I know it will look a lot better if I do the optimal method, since this paint has plenty of light scuffs and swirl marks. So after washing, I needed to clay bar the entire vehicle. The clay bar removes any contaminants that became embedded in the clear coat over time, and you'd be surprised how bad it can get. The back bumper always seems to be the worst area for contaminants to settle into the vehicle's paint. When I run my fingers across the paint, I can feel some rough grit. It even sounds like sandpaper when I go faster. I do not want to apply ceramic coating over this. Spray it with some detailer spray to act as a lubricant. And when I go over it with the clay bar, you can hear it sliding over the contaminants. Then getting quiet, because the clay is picking up those tiny contaminants. And now the paint feels perfectly smooth. No more gritty surface. Next, I wipe down the paint with a microfiber towel and soapy water to remove any residue left by the clay bar and detailer spray. Now the surface is clean and all contaminants have been removed. Let's get a close look. Look at all those swirl marks. I paint corrected this car almost 10 years ago, and it definitely needs it again. The hood is a little worse, but I can fix all this. I've got an orbital polisher, microfiber cutting discs by Meguiar's, and these have a foam backing on them. And I have some very light polish, some light, and some medium. I'll start with the very light and see what kind of swirl marks that removes, then go up to the more aggressive light or medium if needed. I used the very light compound on a small area of the hood. Here's the before area, plenty of swirl marks. And the after area. Still swirl marks, but smaller and lighter. Next, I tried the light compound to see how that helped bring back this 25-year-old paint. And this is looking pretty good. Here's before and the after. I'm not going to get this paint looking like new. I'm going to be happy with this because although it's not perfect, it's a lot better than it was. And it is 25-year-old paint. And I'm not a professional detailer. So then I paint corrected the entire vehicle, frequently stopping to check progress with an LED flashlight. This was by far the most difficult and time-consuming part of this whole process. Again, if your vehicle's paint is newer and or better cared for, then you might be okay to skip the clay bar and the polishing. The ceramic coating protects the surface, but it doesn't hide blemishes or reduce scratches. So if your paint looks anything like this Mustang's, then plan on doing these extra steps to get the paint corrected before sealing the surface with the ceramic coating, which will last at least 2 years. On a car like this that's always garaged and kept under a cover 6 months out of the year for Ohio winters, I don't see why the ceramic coating wouldn't last a lot longer than 2 years. If you're into Mustangs, check the description for a link to a full video on this car, its modifications, and hear the rare SVO Borla side exhaust. Alright, this has turned into quite the long project, but this is the best this black paint has looked in years. Now I've done steps 1, 2, and 3 of the optimal method. Next is the last step before applying the Armor Shield ceramic coating. Isopropyl alcohol wipes. I shopped around and this is all I could find locally, so hopefully these will do. Got them at the pharmacy. These will clean the surface 100% of any dirt, grease, or oils. Oh, look how small this is. Better open too. Okay, so don't get the IPA wipes from a pharmacy. These are made for like when you clean your arm before getting a shot, not wiping down a car. I'll give it a try. I'm going to need a lot more. Try 5 at a time. Okay, not only is this taking forever, but it's also leaving a lot of streak marks on the surface. It's almost hazy now. I've got some of these Duplicolor prep wipes. It's like a degreaser towel. And look at the size of this thing. These prep wipes saved so much time. Just wipe on, and then the surface stays wet until you go over it again with a clean microfiber towel. 4 were enough to wipe down the entire car. Unfortunately, the prep wipes didn't remove the hazy streaks left from the IPA wipes. Not sure why that happened. I'm hoping the ceramic coating will make them go away. First, I've got the gloves on, and I want to wrap the cloth around the sponge, like this. The logo faces me, and the soft, spongy side is what I'm covering with the cloth. And then use the card to press it into the slit in the foam. So it looks like this. Next, shake the bottle really well. Pop this little tab open. And then apply some drops to the cloth. Get it good and wet. That's good. For a large panel like the hood, I'm dividing it into fourths. First, go in one direction. And then across the opposite direction. And I need to speed up because it's already flashing. You can see it has that iridescent color to it, kind of like oil on water. Once it does this, it's time to buff it off with the microfiber towel. Just wipe it off with the circular motion. I'm not really pressing hard, just real light. It's been a hot summer so far here in Ohio, so it might have flashed sooner because it's about 80 to 85 in the garage this morning. Keep buffing until it's all gone. And done. Move on to the next section. Apply some more Armor Shield to the cloth. Go across horizontal first. Then vertical. And I can keep going across in opposite directions over the same area to make sure it's completely covered. But again, this is already flashing. So I need to buff it with the towel now. Maybe should have picked a cooler day to do this. Next, I continued to work around the car, one panel at a time. The Armor Shield was really easy to use. The product worked exactly as the directions said it would and buffed off with ease. I found that if I applied more drops to the cloth and kept it more saturated, then it didn't seem to flash so quickly due to the warmer temperature. I changed the cloth for a fresh one when I was about halfway done, and then again one time when I dropped the sponge on the garage floor. I never had the coating harden on the cloth while I was using it. At $70, Avalon King Armor Shield ceramic coating is a fraction of the cost compared to paying a detailer to ceramic coat my car. I'm just cutting out the middleman and doing the labor myself. And compared to the clay bar and polishing, applying the ceramic coating was quick and easy. I'd guess it took about an hour to do the entire vehicle. The bottle was empty before I had a chance to do the headlights, wheels, or layering on any of the painted surfaces. Luckily, there was no roof to cover because it's convertible. If this was a hardtop, I definitely would have been short on product. It's been 5 days since I applied Avalon King. The car has been parked in the garage the entire time since it's not a daily driver. They say to keep it dry for the first 4 to 7 days. Let's get it out in the sun for a final look. I'll check back in over time and let you all know how the Avalon King Armor Shield holds up in the long run. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing for more how-to videos and project vehicle updates here at the 6th Gear Garage. Thanks for watching. Look at how well this stuff repels water. Thumbs up, guys. I am impressed.